Welcome to Ascension with V, where we talk about spiritual awakening, ascension, and everything in between. I'm your host, Stacia Jeanette, aka V, and today we have a special guest who's about to take us on a journey of their unique experiences. Teresa Fowler, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do today.
Hi, Sasha. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Teresa Fowler. Call myself Quantum Mother T. I like to call myself an energy player.
Okay.
Don't like to use the word work. Energy player. I'm an author. I'm a speaker. I'm just an
All the
oracle.
things.
All the things. Yeah, spiritual guide.
Nice.
And my main thing at the moment is helping perimenopausal women trust themselves and love their bodies as they age.
Okay, so let's talk about, I guess, the first thing. How was your spiritual awakening process? Like, tell me how we got into that, and then what were some of your biggest trials and tribulations that you faced, and then how did you overcome them? Let's
Right.
start from the square one of did you become the superstar that you are now?
Long story short, spiritual journey wasn't something that I planned at all. It sort of
Right.
like fell into my lap. I spent the first 42 years of my life obese. I was an alcoholic. I had all sorts of health issues. I was depressed all the time. I was a journalist working in London, which was crazy and fun, but the alcohol played a large part in that.
Right.
And I always used to equate fun with happiness until, my big crash came at 42 and when my dad died. I was standing at his graveside
Yeah.
in a fog of Valium and red wine to get through it. And I heard a little voice whisper as I'm watching his casket go into the ground saying, I
Yeah.
was like, what? Exactly. I was like, crazy voice, like, what's going on? And I didn't, exactly. And I didn't even know what it meant,
Yeah.
but I knew that if I didn't listen, that I was going to be following. Yeah, that was going to be sooner than
Yeah.
later. So it was kind of like, right, how do I even get healthy?
Right.
As it happened, as the universe works, I got back because that was in the States. I grew up in the States, but lived in London for most of my
Okay.
life.
Okay.
Got back to the UK, and literally walking down the road, I saw a sign for a gym opening up. It's like,
Oh,
all
okay.
right. I found myself in the reception area, kind of going, I need help.
Yeah.
We can help you. So I joined the gym. That was over a period of about a year and a half. I ended up losing about 150 pounds. Yeah,
Whoa.
so
You
my
were
body
like
went
in that gym, in that gym.
within that gym all the time. So
Whoa.
it was an amazing environment. Couldn't have asked for a better place to do it.
What?
Yeah, it was amazing. And as my body started really rapidly changing,
Yeah.
this was in about 2012 when
Okay.
all the energy started going a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and uh, and I decided to leave journalism.
Mhm.
I decided I wanted to help people get better, and so I took my personal training course. I took a reflexology. I just started changing rapidly, and yeah, and somebody, I can't remember who it was. Somebody said, "Have you read a book, Ask and It Is Given?" And I was like, "No, what's that?"
What? Yeah. What?
Abraham Hicks. Did you ever come across that one?
What's it called?
Ask and It Is Given.
Asking it is given. No, I'm familiar with Abraham Hicks, but not that one.
Yeah, it's a channeled book from Abraham, and it gives her foreword. Her husband Jerry gives his foreword, and then Abraham starts speaking. And as I'm reading it, I'm like, it's like the first three paragraphs. I'm kind of like, I'm reading this, but I already know it, but I don't
Yeah.
know it. Like my brain
Yeah.
was
You.
misfiring, yeah,
You.
going exactly. I'm like, how can I know this, but I don't know it?
Yes. Yes.
And so that started opening up other stuff, and that's when I started kind of, okay, so there's quantum physics and there's this and that. So I've started like delving into this stuff. And then when I was taking exactly when I was taking our reflexology clients, I started because I realized I was kind of like something was coming through me because people were going, "Oh my
But you're
God, that was the
channeling.
most amazing, that was the most amazing treatment." And I'm going, "Yeah, okay, whatever." But I realized that I started reading people's emotions through their feet, and I wasn't taught that.
Wait, through their feet?
Through their feet, I could read people's emotions. Yeah. So,
Well, is
so
that a
that's
reflexology thing? Or
yeah.
is that
No, no, it's not a
that's
reflexology
just
thing.
your thing? That's a
That was
you.
that was a me thing, yeah.
Okay,
But
okay.
I thought I was going crazy. I'm like, they didn't
Right.
teach me this. Like, how can I read exactly? And so then I started delving into how energy works, and yeah, and another probably 18 months sort of went by, and I went through my first dark night of the soul. Because, of course, when you first get
No.
in, yeah, when you first get into the energy work, it's all like, oh, love and light, and la 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 la, and dancing with the fairies, and we're all one, and blah, 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 blah. And
Yeah.
then I had a dark night of the soul.
And then you're like, I didn't.
Exactly. Which
So what was it?
really
What
not.
happened? What happened with your dark night of the soul?
Okay, it really knocked me for six. A really dear friend of mine died 6 months pregnant. Yeah, so I had to grieve. And of course, I was sober by then,
Right.
but I wasn't sober when my dad died. So I kind of had to re-grieve. I had to grieve properly him as well. So it was hard work. But in the midst of that, I realized that I didn't love myself. I
Yeah.
started liking myself. I
Right.
felt so much better than when I was depressed, but I didn't love myself. And that was
Right.
that was the big turnaround when
Yep.
when I finally felt that. And that was through Ho'oponopono. When I,
I uh I for I'm sorry.
please forgive me.
Please
Thank
forgive me.
you. I love
Thank
you.
you. I love you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching a lecture that Dr. Hewlin Kalihakala had done. It was like a 9-hour lecture, and I was like, well, I have nothing else to do, so I might as well watch this. And I was watching it, and I was like, it can't be that easy. That's ridiculous. It can't be that easy.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I said too. I was like, what you mean? What do you mean?
Exactly. What? I just say these things and I'll feel better?
I just say
Whatever.
this and then,
But I was
yeah.
literally like at my wit's end in this dark night, and I was like,
Yes.
okay, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to repeat it as a mantra and see what happens. Within
Exactly.
16 days, it was day 16, like when I was in the supermarket in the queue, or when I was walking down the road, whenever I remembered, I'd say it.
Right.
And I was walking down the road, and it was like one of those really lovely, crisp winter days when the sky's really blue, and like you see the sun, and you're like, oh, you're coming back. I can kind of
Yeah.
feel you on my face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And there was this little sliver of sunshine against this wall, and I was like, I'm just going to go stand against that wall and feel the sun. And I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it. And within minutes, my heart just exploded, and everything was like, and I stood there crying, going, "Oh my God! If everybody could feel like this, everything would
Exactly.
change. If everybody felt like this, everything would change in an instant."
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
So, so you mentioned something that I've said before. I frequently talk about this on the process of ascension, where the reason why a lot of people don't want to join the like proverbial redemption line and start their process of ascension is because they know they have to face that judgment day.
Mm-hmm.
You now have to you got to be sober, and
Yes.
you have to feel the
You have to
feeling.
feel it. You
You
have
have
to
to
feel it.
feel the feeling.
Absolutely. Because like when you're flying around going, oh, love and light, la la la, it feels fabulous.
Yes,
But you're not grounded.
but you're not. But you're
No.
not. Yeah,
And we incarnated in these
bodies.
human avatar in these, I got calling it our divine vessels, which
Yes,
we chose, which our soul chose.
literally.
Our soul chose the vessel that you're in. So you
Yes,
gotta love on it. Like
yes,
it's not rocket science. But
yes.
we avoid and we avoid and we avoid and we avoid the pain thing.
That.
I really, because I haven't taken pain. I haven't taken any pharmaceuticals in almost 14 years now.
Yes,
When we have pain, it's our body trying to tell us something. It's like,
right.
pay
Yes.
attention. Yeah, exactly. Pay attention. There's something out of alignment. It's all about bringing the body back into homeostasis, which I learned being a reflexologist. It's about that balance. And in that balance, like the ballerina analogy, like a ballerina is always like, always on her toes, always on her toes, but she has to keep moving. It's dance. So it's not like you find a place and then you stay there.
And then that's it.
And then that's it. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
And you have to feel the feels. You have to feel the feels. You have to feel the pain emotionally. You have to feel the pain physically. There's no other way out of it.
Soberly,
exactly.
Soberly. And that's the thing. Like, I think a lot of people think, even within the spiritual community, like, and no shade to anybody that still, is using, like, but what I'm saying is a lot of times you can't just be like, oh, this is what you have to do, and the love and light thing, but while you're still on the everything, suppressing your feelings and your emotions. And I think a lot of people, while they're high or whatever, like your mind is opened a little bit more, like, so you're receiving. But if that's the only way that you're receiving information, like, that's not
precisely.
you're just kind of artificially bridging the gap,
Precisely. And there's a couple of things to that as well, because I've spent time in Bali and I've spent time in Mexico in spiritual communities where everybody's, I've got an ayahuasca ceremony this week, or I've got a Bufa ceremony, and it's just like, it's not a recreational experience. You're wondering why things aren't going well. Oh, you're having no ayahuasca, but it's just like, And again, no shade, but it's just sort of like, it really pointed out the different levels that this process is for everybody, right? But also, what I feel at the moment, because there's so much darkness becoming apparent, and there's so much Watiko around, I really feel that a lot of these people are opening themselves up to things that they'd really rather not have.
Yeah. And I think it also, I mean, exactly what you said about because of a lot of the darkness kind of coming. It's like a lot of what was hidden being exposed, and a lot of people collectively cannot fathom
it. Exactly.
Literally, like, I have seen so many people tank.
Really?
Tank.
Yeah.
And not even because of stuff that's happened directly to them, but it's like as a byproduct of, I guess, collectively, energetically, what's going on. And I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And you're eating pills, like tons of pills, and washing it down with a bottle. Like, what are you doing?
Exactly. And where do you think that's going to lead now?
Right. Yeah. I really do feel like it is that. It's definitely this collective darkness stuff, but people, I don't know, I guess it's just an overwhelming emotional thing, an overwhelming energetic thing. And again, I think the mind-blowingness of it all, essentially, of finding out that a lot of us, we've all been lied to, like, on a massive
I was
level.
gonna say, I was gonna say, yeah, we've exactly, we've had a while to come to the terms with the fact that everything's a lie. I know that when I, like, literally everything, for everything, even what I like calling the new cage movement.
It's
like it's another cage. Yeah, false light deception. False light deception is a thing. Yeah. I think when I finally came to terms that it was everything, because I've always, as a kid, I always knew when people were lying to me. I grew up in the Catholic Church. I knew the priests were lying to me. Even when I was like 3 years old, I knew that I was being lied to. I knew when teachers were lying to me. I just knew, right? Yeah. So I've always I've always been able to see when people lie. I remember my first job as a journalist. He was working on the same magazine as me, but we were working in a big open plan office, and he was a heroin addict. Literal heroin addict. Yeah. He was, Exactly. He he was obviously functioning, and he was a smart guy. But like,
Right.
I would clock him like disappearing off for a while, and like
Yeah.
rolling
Yeah.
his sleeves back up, and I was like, "What's up with Sandy?" And it was just like, "Oh, he's a smack addict," and I'd be like, "All right, okay," and I would observe him like starting a lie and then having to add to the lie and then like
Yeah.
creating other lies with different people, and I'd be like, what goes on in
Nothing.
your head, dude? I'm like, what?
Right.
I have to like compartmentalize everything in order to like
Yes.
keep this facade going. So
Too much.
I wrote, yeah, exactly. So when I realized that it was everything, I must admit that I was really angry. I was angry at the world for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
really angry for a while, probably
Yeah.
for about
Same.
a year and a half.
Same. Same.
And I was
Same.
angry at myself a lot as well for
Same.
believing some of the lies.
Same.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh, so you mean to tell me? And then
Yeah.
as a kid, I knew, and y'all sat here and made me
Exactly.
feel
Yes.
like
Yes.
that
Yes.
was the part that I struggled with the most because I was like, y'all beat me black and blue talking
Yes.
about, I was in ISS all the time because I told the teachers that's a lie,
Yep.
and then, you know what I'm saying? And then parents were, that because I knew I got
Yes.
chastised. And then,
Yes.
but then only to come to find out that I was right the whole
The
time.
whole time.
What? Literally, like the level of seething anger I had, like
Mhm.
people I put in nothing years.
Yes. 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 So, yeah. So, thinking about people who are just coming to terms with that now, yeah,
Rough,
rough.
rough.
Yeah.
Like
But
y'all
that's what
gotta
we're here for, right? That's what we're here for. We're here to go,
right,
it's
right,
okay.
right. But
Welcome.
then I've also said that like now people have like when the world gets to the point of like, okay, all right, acceptance, they're coming out like butt ass raw, like raw,
Mhm.
raw, traumatized. They got massive PTSD
Yeah.
and they don't trust nobody. Right. So
Yeah.
it's like,
They don't, true, but again, they don't trust from here, right? They can
correct.
feel when it's safe. Because
Correct. And that's what
I'm
I've been
sure you've had that. I'm sure you've had that thing where you'll meet a stranger somewhere, and like 5 minutes later, they're telling you their whole life story, and then they go, "I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I just feel
all the
safe."
time. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Would you like a hug?
yeah, I'm like, come on over here.
Hmm.
Come on. Yeah. So
Exactly.
it's a wild time right now, but you okay, so you also mentioned being able to feel the emotions through the
Mm.
feeling. When did you realize like this is a me thing, and then how did you process, like how did you make that a you thing that you use to help
It
people?
was. It was. I used to give treatments to my bestie where I was living on a weekly basis, and I said to him, I was like, "Look, I think this is what's happening." Well, I tested it first. I was just like, "No, no, 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 no. You didn't tell me about this, but I think this is going on." And he was like, "How did you know?" He was also very psychic,
With it? Yeah.
yeah, with it. And I was like, "I'm reading people's emotions through their feet," and
What do you say?
he was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Well, it's all energy, isn't it?" And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm going to test this on you more just so that I can prove to myself that
This is a real thing.
this is a real thing. Yeah. But yeah, it was his acceptance. And I was like, yeah, okay. This is just another one of my skills. Put it in the toolkit. Exactly. I was like, I got a spiritual toolbox.
Literally, literally that. Like, let me just add this on in here.
Exactly. Move on over crystals and
I wish I could move my camera over here to like all my spiritual
Roll.
right, but like I don't. now at this point, really, like I don't use to
I
kind of like
don't. I know. I used to use
you.
crystals all the time. I
Yeah,
hardly use them anymore. I mean, some
right.
I still have them because I like them. Sometimes I'll still wear them, but yeah, I don't feel I need them anymore.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And was that when you went through the phase of when you started what is the term, like leveling up?
Mhm,
When you started leveling up to or no longer needing your tools that you used
mhm.
to use, like did you feel like something was wrong with you, like because you couldn't like,
That happened with the Dark Night of the Ego.
mm-hmm,
Mhm.
mm-hmm. Tell me
Mhm.
about that. Oh,
Okay,
tell me about
so
that.
I think I had is that one? I'd had three Dark Night of the Soul, and the third one was pretty easy. It only really lasted about 3 days, and I was just
Okay.
like, "Right, okay, so this Dark Night of the Soul, the more you level up, you kind of go through this thing you have to shed. Okay, cool. Yeah, cool."
Frequently.
That was like, yeah, bring on the next one. I was like, I can do this now, no problem. And the Dark Night of the Ego was, whoa.
Yeah.
It was something that I saw. It was sparked off by an Instagram post.
What?
I know, by somebody who I used to follow, and it was more than a following. I was a huge fanatic fan. Okay, I was a fanatic fan of this
Yeah.
person, and I didn't think anything of it. And this was for years, right? I didn't think anything of it. The fact that I was a fanatic fan, and now I look at it and going, false idols, duh.
Right.
But I didn't know at the time. But I was like, no, they make me happy. Oh, I love them. Blah 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 blah. And then I saw an Instagram post and went, "You what?"
Uh,
I was like, "You what?" And I was like, "Are you literally that stupid?" And I reacted and like commented in the comment section, and other people were commenting, going, "How could you?" Blah 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 blah. And it was just like, no, this like everything about this goes against everything that
I
I
yeah.
and I was like, I'm gonna have to block this person. Oh my god, I don't even want to see. I don't want anything to do with them ever again.
Yeah.
And then that was just like, oh, that was like 20 years of my, that was 20 years of my life. That was 20 years of my,
Wow.
and like I identified as a certain way because of this.
Oh. I'm like, oh,
And for the next like, for the next week, I couldn't even get out of bed. Like literally everything in my body was on fire. My joints were in pain. I was like crippled up in pain. I'm going, what the hell is going
yeah.
on with me? I'm like,
What? Yes.
exactly. I'm like, what is this? It was literally like a rebirthing of myself. I was like literally physically,
Yes.
I couldn't eat. It was insane. And I'm going, this isn't a Dark Night of the Soul. I've done that before.
Right. What is this?
What is this? And you know, I'm still kind of like doing bits of research and stuff. And then, you know, as the universe happened, up popped a video. Somebody that I follow going, what is the Dark Night of the Ego?
Yes.
And I'm like, there's a Dark Night of the Ego? What? And I'm like, oh
What?
god, that's what's happening because like my ego was tied to this thing outside of me that wasn't even real.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
exactly. However, after that, I literally stopped giving a shit about anything outside. I was
outside.
like, it's all bullshit. It is. It's yeah, which I knew. I knew was all based on lies, but I was like, literally all this. And then, of course, we only see what we see is only what point
Like
zero zero three five
yeah.
percent. I mean, it's
Nothing.
nothing,
Yes.
nothing. And
Nothing.
yes, I have on DMT. I saw the fractal. I saw God. I saw everything, and I was just
What is that? What is that? Why does everybody talk about that? Like, what is that? What is that?
okay. Well, DMT. I can't remember the exact full name, but you can actually produce it. Do you do breath work, or have you? Yeah, or like when you're dreaming and you okay, so this is another thing. Okay, I wear glasses. I've worn glasses since I was 10 years old. Remember having this dream, And I was like in like a Mayan jungle type of environment, and I'm with people. I have no idea who they are. So I'm going, how much longer do we have to walk? And they were like, it's about another 3 miles away. And I'm looking through the leaves in the jungle, and I could see the temple, and I could see all the intricate details on the temple.
Yeah.
And I'm saying to myself in the dream, now how is it possible that I can see that far and that much in detail, but I don't have my glasses? But I don't have my glasses. Like,
Now
that
hold
is
up. Now hold up now.
and then I was like, oh yeah, mind's eye, third. Oh right, of course, this is what see, yeah. So this can see anything anyway.
Right.
These don't see
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
all, right?
Right. At all. Yeah.
At all. So what we're perceiving in our divine vessel virtual reality suits
Yeah.
isn't real. It's
Right.
not
It's just
real. It's
the
the
matrix.
exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, the feeling is the secret. It's not the
Right.
secret that keeps you stuck in ego. Oh, what do you want? I want a big car, I want a Lamborghini, blah, 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 blah. No, the feeling is the secret.
Feeling. That's why. Yeah. The I call it your sonar system. You know, like yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's all going on in here. It's all
Yeah.
going on in here. But what do most people do? I did the same thing. Most people don't want to feel their physical pain, so they take a painkiller to
Right.
stop the symptom of your body going, hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
Yes.
they get drunk and take drugs because they don't want to feel the pain
All the
of their
things.
existential,
Yes.
which is
Yes.
basically their soul going, like that.
Why you not answering?
Exactly.
Literally that though. It's literally that.
Yep. Yep.
But that's insane because I don't know if you know this or not. Like I released a documentary, and in
All
that
right.
I talked about it was about my health journey, and
Mm-hmm.
essentially me coming off of all the prescription medications. Like
Yeah.
at one point I was taking 25 medicines for all
For
the
all the
chronic.
things and all the chronic illness and all the side effects of the chronic. Yeah.
Correct.
20,
Correct.
25 a
20,
day.
25. Yeah.
Wow.
And then when it came to the point, this is how I knew they were on bullshit because couldn't nobody agree on like this one diagnosis, and nobody could get on the
Mm-hmm.
same page with anything. And then so finally I was like, do you think it's possible that this medication is causing this symptom, and then like that maybe I should
Mm-hmm.
just come off of this? And nobody wanted to take
Nobody
me off
wanted
of
to. No,
anything.
of course not.
Nobody
Because
wanted
they
me
get
to
a
go,
little kickback off each one as
you know what I'm
well.
saying? And I was like, oh no, y'all,
Mm-hmm.
you fooling me right now.
Yes.
And then I remember literally the divine came and was like, look, I was on Adderall for ADHD. And
Mm-hmm.
they were like, look, you gonna have to come off this. And here's what we gonna do. You know, boom, Adderall shortage, like nationwide. So like
Ah!
essentially,
As if they mentioned.
I literally couldn't get it like at all. And then I was like, all right, well, I'm just not gonna take it. My doctor was like, you can't just not. And I was like, yeah, but
Yeah.
actually what's been happening is I haven't been taking it as I was supposed to be anyways. Like I was gradually Daxler's universe was just teetering me off it anyways, and that's what happened with the
Mm-hmm.
rest of all the 25 medicines. I'll be honest, like I cold turkey stopped a whole bunch of that shit. And
Yeah, because you can. I cold turkey off of alcohol. People go, oh, how long did you go to AA meetings? I'm like, no. Why do I need to keep going on and on about it? I just stop.
it's done. It's
Exactly. I just
done.
stop.
No.
And I was a beast. I could drink, like, one of my games was like drinking guys under the table.
Yeah. Yes.
Because, I was big as well. I was
Yeah.
100 so pounds heavier. So, like, we'll get the pints of beer and I drink the guys under the table. And then it was just like, right, who wants to party? I've got some vodka. Like, go on. And I could still go to work the next day because I never used to get hangovers. No, it was bad.
Like, it's not gonna work. Listen. That's impressive. I tell people while you're in hell, you should enjoy it because like you can't go back.
Precisely. I like that. I like that. I did. That was the thing. I did have a good time. I've always known how to have a good time.
I'm like, facts, and then I think that's also something that happens like when people get into the spiritual world. And I hate this. This is why I hate like churches because this is exactly what, the church
Yes.
people do. They're like, we don't think of such things. And how dare you use foul language? And no, I never
Well,
dabbled in anything so foul. And
and
I've
they're also
never,
and they're also serious.
yeah, I've never been but I feel like there's this thing that happens with a lot of people within the spiritual community where like they just act like they were never in the abyss. And if you've never been in the pits of hell, like rock
Precisely.
is a bottomless pit. It is.
Precisely.
And if you have never been in the Mariana Trench of hell ever, like you ain't done the work. You don't know.
Precisely.
But
Precisely.
those who have, exactly. While you there, you haven't. You better live it up. You only need to be in hell once, and while you're there, have fun and
Have
enjoy
fun.
yourself. Fun. Get to know your darkness, your dark side, and let that beast out while you are there, and then bring it on home. Like
Precisely.
you know,
Precisely. Yeah.
but you you did exactly that. You're like, listen, I could drink them on the table and then go to work the next day.
Oh
Listen,
yeah.
you had fun. You did the things, but you have the qualifications and skills. Like you got the tails.
Precisely.
You know what I
Precisely.
mean? Have you noticed that? Have you experienced that? Like with some people, like now in the what did you call it? The new cage?
The new cage, yeah. The new cage. A lot of people. No, they're still in the new cage. They're still in the. Funnily enough, some of them are now seeing the fact
Yeah.
that there are a lot of false. I call them the false light deceivers.
What is it called?
The false light deceivers. This is why I see on my hashtag on my hashtag on my website. It's like navigating the apocalypse with joy, humor, and love.
That
You gotta laugh. You have to laugh. Laughter is seriously important. I realize that a lot of people stuck in a new cage take everything so serious.
so serious. Serious.
You can't
Yeah.
laugh at that. Well, no, you can actually.
But actually,
Yeah.
I made a tag, a note on here to ask you, what would you say is the importance of finding humor in the difficult times? Which we came here effortlessly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, A, we came here effortlessly.
Yes.
B, our souls chose this,
Mm-hmm.
so you might as well freaking enjoy it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
C, what was that? C?
I don't
Yeah, doesn't really matter. Like, laughter instantly raises your vibration
Yeah.
and diffuses whatever fuckery that you were facing.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it was like, the genocide, isn't it? It's just like, okay, I get what you're saying, but you're only talking about this because they're telling you on the news.
On the news.
Right? They're telling you on the news.
On the news.
Do you not think that there's been genocide going on your entire life?
Forever.
Forever?
Right
You just
now,
haven't been focused on it because it
backyard.
wasn't on your Facebook profile, right?
Right.
So, like, it's always happening. Oh, but baby. I get that. But that's why we're here. So children who follow us don't have to go through this bullshit. That's why our souls are here now. The unveiling, because that's all an apocalypse is. It's an unveiling of all the darkness that's always been there.
Yes.
Always been there. We're just seeing it now, which is why we're in a spiritual war. We literally are.
Yes.
And yes, we do have to choose sides. You're either hashtag Team God or you're playing for the other side. in which
Right.
case I laugh at you to diffuse, to ridicule you and diffuse
Right.
you. It's not about fighting. We
No.
don't have to fight the globalists. We don't have to fight. Just ridicule them. Like,
Yes.
literally, they're pathetic.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah. Like
pathetic.
it's just like
They're human. They're pathetic.
right.
They're not human. Then, that's another thing.
Another thing.
That's another thing.
But still, like it in general, it's kind of like the fighting the losing battle thing of just being like,
Yeah.
we can clearly see the ship sinking, man. Like, like
Precisely.
you know,
Precisely.
there's not a like, it's not like it might hit. It's literally
No, it's literally happening in front of your
it's
face now.
literally actively sinking, and like there's no repair. Like all the watertight compartments have flooded. Failure is imminent, man. Like, but like some people are they just
I know they're
bound
just hanging on.
they're going
I
down.
call it the slave code matrix. I called it that for a while because, like, literally all the K Ultra programming is just programming in slave codes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I call it the slave code matrix. I think a lot of people like being slaves.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
because again, you don't have to. And again, I can say this, like, I've got the rare perspective of being on both sides of the spectrum where, I was heavily medicated and a part of like the mind control thing, because that's what that is. Every time I was into the hospital, it was like, let me continuously pump you with this morphine and Dilaudid and stuff so you can't be. But you know what I'm saying? And it just was like I have been there on the side of not being able to feel everything.
Yes.
But also, strangely enough, even while I was going through that, I still it was like my divine self.
Yeah, there was
Yeah,
something. There was something. There was that inner pilot light that was going.
correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
mm,
Correct. But it was always like, even still while in that, my divine self was still like navigating navigating me through, obviously because I'm here, right? But
exactly.
there is that while I was on that, it's like people saying it's just easier to not feel.
Yes, it is. I've been there. It is. It's easier to not. It's much easier to not feel because you don't have to think in it. You don't have to think about it.
No,
You
no,
just
it's like
do the
willful.
numb and just go through the motions, and somebody tells you what to do, and it's just
Correct.
like, okay,
All right.
but that's not why our souls came here, which is
right.
Yeah.
But then again, I guess kind of going back to like, but in order to be free or not be a part of that's the slave mentality anymore, it requires you to do the work
do the work,
to do the work.
which isn't easy.
It's rough. Yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah.
However, it's worth it.
It's worth it. It's doable. Like,
It's very
we're
doable.
here.
Absolutely.
We did it.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
can you tell me about this human design reflector thing? What is the human design? How did you find out you were a reflector? And what does it entail? And how does it personally influence you and guided you on your journey?
Right. Well, I only came across human design maybe about 4 years ago.
Okay.
And it's basically a blueprint that brings together your. Okay, so I heard somebody talking about astrology the other day, which I thought, oh yeah, that's really interesting because there's no denying there's planets up there, right?
Correct. Right.
Whether it's a simulation or whether they're really up there, that's another story. But nobody can deny that the planets and the stars align, and exactly because you hear people say, "Oh, I don't believe in astrology," and it's like, I think what they're actually saying is that I don't believe in horoscopes.
Right.
And then that's another thing. Why are they called horoscopes? Right.
Right.
Think about this, right?
Like,
But yeah, that's stuff that people make up. But you can't deny that there's astrological things going on. Precisely. And Team Dark also use the astrology to like, put their false flags out and things, right? They use that. They use numerology. They use ancient symbolism. So you can't deny all that.
Right.
So human design is a blueprint that brings together astrology, the I Ching, and your numerology.
In your numerology. Yes.
Yeah. Because you've heard of the gene keys as well, yeah? They kind of
With
go to
the yes.
with the gates and things,
With
yeah.
the gate.
It's
Yeah, I was like,
it's
with the gate
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
exactly. It's actually quite complicated. I haven't delved into it so much, mainly because I did find out that I was a reflector. So there were 4 main categories, or 5.
Yes.
Manifestors,
Manifest
manifesting generators,
and
projectors, and reflectors.
and reflector. So 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The world is mostly run by manifesting generators, which kind of makes sense, and reflectors are only 1% of the population, of the
Right.
whole human population.
Right.
There's not much information about us because we are quite rare.
Right.
But I've connected with a couple of reflector groups on Telegram, and we kind of help each other. Like, is anybody feeling a bit woo today? Yeah, I'm feeling woo. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so basically, all of in the design, you have fixed or open centers, which kind of align with the chakra system.
Yes.
And reflectors, we don't have any definition. We're like completely open. So if we're in the wrong environment, we definitely have to be in the right environment, because we literally just we're like sponges. We just take on other people's energy. So like, for instance, I realized in my working life, I was working with a lot of manifestors and manifesting generators, trying to operate like them and then burning out because I don't have that energy system to keep up with that. And when I found out like everything that I could about a reflector, it was just like, oh my God, that's why that happened. Oh, that's why that happened. Oh, it was like, yeah. And that's why I think that's one of the reasons why I can read other people's emotions, because it's just part of my blueprint, especially, when I touch somebody, I really can like, so that's human design.
When you found out that you were a reflector, did it solidify everything for you and make you want to do more of the spiritual work stuff, or did it scare you for a while? Like, oh, now I got to be like extra careful. And then how did
it was kind of like, oh, I've really got to protect myself more.
Yes.
Yeah, and see, that was a weird thing as well, because I don't know if you do any body work, or have you like done Reiki or anything, or
I've had Reiki done to me, but like I don't personally do it. I do a lot of stuff within the quantum and in the spiritual world.
Right.
That's my realm.
That's your realm. Yeah. Well, like when I used to work with people, I used to like, people say, oh, put a protection around you, so you don't absorb their energy, blah, 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 blah. And I used to find that really difficult. Didn't know why. I knew I should be doing it, but that's probably why I was absorbing so much of this stuff, right? Because I wasn't protecting myself. But when I started doing Ho'oponopono, I realized it was because, have you ever come across Dr. Bradley Nelson's work with Heart Walls, the emotion code and the body code? His stuff is really good. Apparently, I had a miles long heart wall made of metal, like, yeah. Because I was angry. I was like, was self-hating, hated the world in it. So I like literally had built a wall around my heart. When I finally opened it with Ho'oponopono, I realized that whenever I tried to protect myself from outside energetically, it was kind of closing that wall again. It was closing my heart down again. And I was like, well, this doesn't really work. And I was like, okay, well, what can I do? Maybe it's better if I just expand my heart energy as much as possible. I'll just like,
that
do it from
me
the
like, right, like a carrier. Like,
exactly. Exactly that. I was like, right, I'm working from this way out. So
Yeah,
whenever I'm touching somebody, or even if I'm just walking down the road, I'm like
yeah,
free, expansive. Exactly. And
yeah,
I find that that kind of works like Teflon.
yeah.
Repels any
It
energies that
is,
I don't
it
want.
is.
And other people who resonate or can feel it
They
invites
gravitate
them.
towards
They
you.
gravitate towards it. So yeah,
Yes.
so that's how I that's how I use.
think it's hilarious because I went through that same thing. I won't say that like my heart chakra was ever like fully closed off, but like there was a time again where like I just I kind of was like, maybe I should like protect myself a little bit more. But then
Yeah.
again, also kind of same thing. I was like, it feels weird.
It
It's
feels weird. Yeah, the
constraining.
whole exactly. It was too constrictive. It just shut me down. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, if I'm an expansive being,
Yes.
if I just
Yeah. And then
radiate outwards, and then yeah,
literally
like a
the
cat there.
the design showed me, they were like, you need to be like this, and it was the Care Bear picture, and he was just standing there with his little cape on, and the rainbow came out of his heart.
I
You
love
know?
that. I need to get a Cat Bear T-shirt again.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
absolutely, absolutely, because that's totally us. That's us out here, and it does. I mean, it works like magic.
yeah.
I have my, my hematite and my
Yes,
tourmaline
yeah.
on,
You
black
know,
obsidian.
Shang.
Yes,
Yeah.
because of you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because of what I do in spiritual and in quantum realms. But like the, nothing has worked so good as the Care Bear thing
Yeah.
because again, a lot of times what happens is again, darkness will always be attracted to light. Like
Of course. Of
that's where
course.
and light will always attract dark. That's the
Mm-hmm.
way of the universe.
The yin yang. Exactly.
Yes, that's literally the way of the universe. There will never be. Everyone's like, well, when the world is without evil, that's never like
No, it's never gonna
that's
happen.
not it. That's never it. That will never be a thing. You have to have the
The
balance
balance,
in
exactly, because
existence.
this third dimension is all about that balance.
Correct.
Yeah.
It just is. But I've noticed that's been the biggest protection. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
is again the Care Bear method of
Yeah.
just
Fucking fair bear method.
you know
Need to
because
trademark that.
that's a fact because it is that and those who are like fully just embodied of darkness. And I won't say like all dark energy isn't like people who carry dark energy aren't evil, you
No,
know.
exactly.
And,
Exactly.
and I think I said that one time and they're like, so you just because I have dark energy, yeah, like I'm an evil person. Like, no, like
No.
that's
No.
not it. No, 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 no. But I have found that it's either really, really triggering, to people who have more dark energy and they'll like kind of like run
Hmm.
or
Yeah, that's
or
what I said. Like, it's like it acts like Teflon.
yes, yeah,
They literally just bounce off. Don't even
right.
have to worry about them.
But then also you get like the horde of people who are like, oh my God, you're right.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
I haven't found the protection for that yet at this point.
But I kind of like that.
Yeah,
I kind of like it because it means that A, they're either ready
right, right.
to see their own light because it's, oh yeah, this is the other gift. So, do you know what you are?
I am a projector.
Hey. I like, for some strange reason, I just have this, yeah, I just attract projectors. But I think it's because I see their light and I'm able to I'm able to be that reflection so that they
Yeah.
can see their own light. Because I know
Right.
projectors have a hard time sometimes
Yes.
accepting their own light. Yeah.
That that
Yeah.
that that is me. Like in a nutshell. Like a lot of times, like I don't see myself as great as other people
Yeah.
do.
Do.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like and I mean, like it's great for being humble. Like I'll never be an arrogant person ever. Like
Mm-hmm.
even if I was a trillionaire, and had all the keys
Mm-hmm.
to everything, never,
Yeah.
never. But like also in the long run, like I never think that I'm as good as I can be.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Oh, that's
you got
funny.
it. So tell me. Tell me about the things that like the you said you were gonna say something and then you were like, wait, do you know what you are? And I don't remember
What
what
was
it
I going to
was that
say?
you were gonna see, but something about the also another thing about the reflector
Mm,
was about like I don't know, like reflecting back people's
oh yeah, no, yeah, about sort of magnetized projectors, but it's because I'm able to see their light, so I'm able to reflect that light back at them. Oh yes, because yeah, so
there it is.
yeah, my theory, because reflectors aren't understood by especially manifesting generators and manifested. They have a hard time understanding reflectors because they're always
Right.
go, 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 go. And
Right.
we're really
Chill.
chill. Yeah.
Same.
Because we operate by the moon as well, right?
Yes.
And we
Yes.
have no
Oh
definition
yeah,
and
yeah, because you guys have to go in cycle.
cycles, yeah. And manifesting, especially manifesting generators,
There.
they don't get it. Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
get why we are the way we are.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, maybe this theory, like looking at the bigger picture, I like looking at the bigger picture,
Same.
is the reflectors are here to help the projectors see their light and stand in it and like really be the lighthouse so
Yeah.
that the projectors can then go project the good to the manifesting generators who need to do the work. Do you
Right.
know what I mean?
Which is exactly, and that's exactly why I said what I do is typically within the energetic, quantum, and spiritual realm.
Yeah.
Like, there's this thing now, I hate to say it, but like, people come to me, I feel like they get drawn in by number one, the physical, and number two, the energetic thing.
Yeah.
And then it's, it's like they're intrigued, but they don't know the
No
reason why
reason why.
the
Yes.
reason why they're drawn to me is so that they can now get sent on their path
Yes.
to do the
To do
work
the
and
work.
heal and
Yes.
ascend.
Yes.
And by the time they realize that, oh, it's not just like a physical attraction, or it's not just like some you're
Yeah.
you're already in it. Like you can't stop there's no
Exactly.
stop
It does
button on the process.
exactly.
You
But
know.
they can see the projector in their light. They can't see the reflector. They like we're not on the same frequency at all. They can't
Right.
see us, but they can
Right.
see projectors. So then they can project the word out.
Oh. I
That's
feel
how
like
I
you
see
like
it.
I feel like you cracked like the Da Vinci Code because when I was trying to figure out so what is so what exactly is my role here
I've
and
never
then
actually read that. I probably should.
it but it is this and also with projectors we kind of like you like we don't have a defined sacral so like we don't
Precisely.
have access to constant energy and like
Precisely.
we have to have like somebody else
Mm-hmm.
to essentially kind of piggyback off of their energy,
Mm-hmm.
but it's only like very short borrowed time
Yeah.
that we have that energy. And I have maybe 4 to 5 hours of physical energy, and then after that, I'm like,
Done for the day. Yeah, exactly.
really, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. And me trying to do this, I guess you know, again, also being around my mother's a manifesting generator, and just everybody
Yeah.
essentially in this world is some
Is it
sort of generator. Right.
precisely,
You know,
precisely,
and
which
me
is why
thinking,
it's such a go, 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 go. Yeah, but it's
oh,
exhausting for people like that. We
it's
can do it for a time if we're
it's not
really
gonna work.
invested in it, but for our bodies, it doesn't work because we
Right.
literally just collapse.
I mean, it works for them, like because again,
Mm-hmm.
if manifesting generators aren't operating that way, like it really can be detrimental to them.
Precisely,
But
precisely,
for projectors and reflectors, it's the opposite. Like it's detrimental for
exactly,
us to be pushing
precisely.
to try to perform that way.
Yes,
And that's something that I just learned over the last 2 to 3 months, and I was kind
right.
of like,
Oh, now that makes sense. So we were like, oh, I had burned out. I was like, yeah, I've burnt out 3 times.
yes,
Yeah, literally 3 times.
literally,
It's like, yeah,
literally.
my first one was when I was 27 and doing all the drinking and partying. And I was a music
Yeah.
journalist. I was also in bands. I was out like 6 or 7 nights a week.
Teresa was doing everything.
I was doing everything, yeah,
You were
and
you were portraying the manifesting generator role
I was
well.
big
Yes,
time. And
yes,
then my body went, oh no, I got glandular fever, and then it turned into 7 years of chronic fatigue.
yeah.
And because I lost like my 20s when I started feeling better and kind of started putting in my mid-30s, I went crazy, hell for leather again, going, way! And then when my dad died, everything kind of like, thrown out again. And then the last burnout, which will be the last burnout, was when I was 45. And I started doing the personal training. I was doing reflexology. I was like,
Yeah.
and I was feeling amazing. I had all this new energy that I never had before. Blah. And then my body just went, oh, menopause.
Done,
And I was
done.
like, no, no, can't
No,
do this again.
this
Can't do
isn't
this
it.
again.
This isn't it.
This isn't it. No.
Do you do you feel
And
like
and and one of the themes, one of the physical themes of being a reflector is burnout. I
oh,
was like,
I
yeah,
see?
yeah,
And I feel like also probably with being a projector too, because 4 hours is not a lot, really.
no,
Like,
exactly.
I mean, there's a thing within the chronic illness community called like the spoons theory. Like if you only have every day you have like a certain amount of spoons to get
Yes,
through whatever. So like if you only have 10 spoons for the day, it takes you 5 spoons to take a shower, 5 spoons
yes,
to do your hair. Like that's it.
that's it.
I'm
Exactly.
very selective with what I choose.
Abs Absolutely. It's even like with, the whole scrolling thing. I was kicked off Facebook like 4 years ago when the whole pandemic started, so that got rid of that.
Yeah.
And then when I was in Portugal, so this would have been about 3 or 4 years ago.
Ooh, you went to Portugal. Where in Portugal?
I was in Lagos, down on the Algarve.
Nice. We just got back
Yeah,
from Lisbon. Yeah.
I love Lisbon. Lisbon's a great city. Yeah, I was walking along the beach one day, and it was around the time when the whole Instagram Reels started, and
Uh,
people were starting to do Reels, and I was like, no, I was like, I don't want to do that. And then all of a sudden, I got this like the Black Mirror. I was like, oh, it's the Black Mirror, and I could feel the whole AI black goo
right.
thing, and I was like, in it's in the Black Mirror. I was just like, "Whoop." And then couldn't even post. I didn't even post for about 18 months.
Yeah.
Like even being on the phone made me feel sick.
That
And
was me. That was me as
yeah,
well. That was me
yeah,
as well.
yeah, and even
Yeah.
like just being on the screen, I'm just like, yeah, I'm on the
Want to do it.
interwebs like
Yeah.
2 hours for a live Zoom call tops. Anything above that, I'm like, right, turn the Black Mirror off. It literally makes me feel sick.
Yes.
Yeah, other
But
people are like, and I'm like, no,
right,
no,
yeah.
just stop scrolling because it's literally the black goo.
Yeah, so I didn't use social media. I mean, like I very rarely was on for like a year, and people were concerned because of like health stuff. They're like, "Are you okay?"
Yep.
And it's like you couldn't explain it to anybody, like what you were experiencing. So I just had to be like, "Look, I'm just taking a hiatus. I'm just trying to
Yep.
like get my shit together." But it even now, doing. I think that's the part that's difficult about what we do, is
Yeah.
because it a lot of what you do is you do it online.
Online. Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
know.
Working with people, and the only way like to get your business out there, you obviously have to
Be visible online. Yeah.
correct. You have to have a social media presence. You have to
Present.
yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Obviously, energetic marketing is at play. Your people will find you from, but like kind of how we connected.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And that was the thing that God Source Universe was frequently telling me, like, hey, look, you can't keep just clinging on to me. You get out there. You're in a physical. You chose this, man.
Exactly.
You can't. I choose transcendence more than I do eminence. And it's I'd prefer to be with the spirits and in the heavenly realms and in the. Do you know what I'm saying? With
hmm
with source, like. as close to the divine as possible at all times. And constantly the thing is like, I just imagine Source being like, get
exactly.
oh, get out of here. I said, no, you have to go. And the whole time, you know,
Can I just say here, please?
I'm scared out here. I'm like, these people are bad. And it's icky. It feels bad, you know. And it was every time I looked at my phone, I was like,
Exactly.
and I would be lying though, honestly. I would be lying if I said like I'm not at this point still kind of like I post what I have to and then I get the
Yeah.
F off.
Yes, same. It was like, oh, have a calendar, like, and I was like, no, I don't want
No.
to. No,
Hey,
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not
just
gonna
had
do it.
someone tell me that exactly. Like you need to be interacting with people constantly. Go and comment this, comment that. I'm like, I can't. Whoever needs to find me will find me. God, source, universe will bring it to energetically. We will connect. I'm not going to hunt and
Just
find
like
you.
we did. Just like we did, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right. And that's
Exactly.
absolutely because again, that was effortless.
It was completely effortless. I was just like, oh, what? And I literally pressed the wrong button on Instagram and it sent me to this thread thing. I'm like, what the hell is even this thing? I didn't even know what it was.
Yes.
And then I was like, oh. And then I saw your profile and I saw somebody else. And I was just like, okay, we'll just do that. And then that was it.
Yes.
Like literally. And I was
done.
done. Yeah.
See? Okay, so
used.
last thing I wanted to talk about was
Okay.
tell me about superficial self-love and how many people abandon their souls.
Right. Well, yeah, soul abandonment, that's huge. I mean,
Yeah.
it's with everything. It's with everything. I think if you, these days, and again, it's not saying that anybody's doing anything bad. I'm not dissing anybody because we're all, we're all in these human avatars doing human stuff, and sometimes we do stupid shit, right?
Right. It's like, it's Earth school.
Exactly, it's Earth school. Nobody's perfect, so whatever. But soul abandonment can be anything from, I still abandon my soul if I eat something really crap, which I do every now and then because, because we're human, but because we're on Earth, right? But I'll, because I do my best to eat organic all the time, but every once in a while I'll be like, oh, but I really fancy chocolate. And then I'm nowhere near somewhere where I can get an organic chocolate bar, so I'll end up buying a chocolate, right? Technically, that's me abandoning my soul, but I don't do it all the time. But people do soul abandoning things all the time. Negative self-talk is soul abandonment. Drinking too much alcohol, soul abandonment. People abandon their souls all the time.
Right.
And superficial self-love, I'm finding that that's most people. Because a lot of...
what is that like by definition? What does that look like to you?
Definitely looks like self-care, and self-care is great, but I hear a lot of people saying that they love themselves, but then I observe them doing things that aren't anything to do with self-love.
Like, what's an example? Give me an example.
Okay, again, this isn't dissing anybody.
Right. Here, look, we've all...
Exactly.
We have all...
Exactly. But, Instagram's full of it. Filters, for starters. Sorry. Come on.
Yeah.
You don't look like that. That's not you. So you're obviously putting some fake filter on to make yourself look better because you're worried about what other people think.
Yeah. And that was me. I went through that for like a good 3 to 4 months. And then I was like, what?
Yeah. Exactly. The whole filter, it always made me go, bleh. I'm like,
yes.
Sticking things in your face to make you look younger. I'd even say HRT to the women who are menopausal, like pharmaceuticals. It's a little P, a big capital HARM, and then the rest of it. It's not helping you at all.
Right.
Anytime you look for something outside of yourself,
right,
because you need it for validation that's not self-love.
Right.
It's just not. So
Right.
you can say you love yourself, but you don't really feel it.
But you don't feel it.
You
Yeah,
don't feel it.
you don't
Yeah.
feel it. And I think again, I think a lot of the world and the social media has a huge part to play. Like again, the false idols are like, I feel bad for the young girls growing up now,
Yeah.
because that's all they see is
Exactly.
AI filters
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
the BBLs. My God, like
Like what
uh,
is that? What is that?
what
I know.
is this? Like, you know what
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And it's so like that's something
Yeah.
that's just
Exactly. Or even like, and again, well, yeah, I can say this because I used to be a ginormous girl, right? The whole body positivity thing, like, oh, you have to accept obesity
right.
as beautiful. It's not self-love, darling, because
So
you're literally killing yourself.
okay. So dive into that. Like, how do people, if they are bigger, how do they accept, like, how do they love themselves genuinely, but then also want to be
Yeah,
healthy? Like,
love yourself enough to be healthy.
yeah, yeah,
Because
and the right
when
way, and the
in the
right way,
right way,
like
exactly.
because now you see the Ozempic stuff.
Oh, that again, that's soul abandonment as well, because you need something outside of yourself to make. I like look. When I heard that whisper, "Get healthy," my focus was on getting healthy
You went to the
because
Evan Gym.
yeah, I did go to the gym and I learned how to eat real food, right?
Right,
Right, and I stopped drinking.
right, right.
Literally, that's all. Literally, that's all it took.
Same.
Well, no, mindset as well. Mindset did help,
Yeah.
but the focus was on get healthy because of
Right.
course I had done loads of diets over the years.
Yes.
What does diet have in the word? Die.
Yeah.
So your mind's thinking I'm gonna die if I don't eat,
Right.
right? I tried loads of diets over the years, nothing worked. I always gained it back, blah 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 blah. And then I just stopped caring. But because you get to a point where I must be big. That's how I'm
Right.
big boned. Lie. Nobody has big bones. What a lie.
Who started that? You
Some fat
just big
person that didn't want
bones.
to go to the gym.
You just big
He's like,
bones.
I'm just big boned. No, you're not. Exactly. And the other thing, when you're a big girl and you've got chub rub and all other things rubbing, and you rub your skin raw, you cry yourself to sleep at night, A, from the pain, and B, because you feel like shit.
Right.
Which is why my first book was called Feel Like Shit, How to Stop Being Fat. You feel like shit. But you've got all these like social media girls and filters and everything going, oh, body positive. No, it's a lie, because I know you're crying yourself to sleep at night. Don't lie
Right.
to me. I can
Right.
see right through it.
Yeah. Yeah. And there was a time where like the all the medicine that I was on, and then again I also went through like the fuck it phase because I
Mm-hmm.
was like,
Because you
yeah,
do. You just get to a point where like, oh, can't do anything else anymore. Yeah.
literally, literally.
Nothing
So
works. Nothing
while
has ever worked for me.
nothing,
Well,
yes,
exactly. I used to hear that when I was doing weight loss coaching. Yeah, I've tried everything. Well, no, you haven't tried everything, have
what?
you?
But not. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
It is like it while I was still in my really big phase, I thought that as well. Like, should I just what's the plan here? Do I accept myself and love
Yes.
myself at this way, or like what do I do here?
Yeah.
And then I also like I went and I got lip fillers one time. I had one thing of lip fillers
That
because like again,
that's also
so
denial. That's not self
yeah,
love. That's self
exactly that. Yeah,
betrayal.
it was because again, like I hated how I looked and felt at the
Yes.
time, so I was really trying everything to try to make myself feel better, you know. And then I was doing
Yeah.
like the false eyelashes.
I
You know what I mean? I was like, he's like, let me wear a wig, you know, and let me see if this is like everything. While I was almost like 300 pounds trying to, and it was all from the medicine that I was on and me drinking alcohol. And then as soon as I got off of all the medicines,
As
literally,
if by magic.
you know,
Exactly. As if
yeah,
by magic. Exactly.
look at
Exactly.
that. I mean, I did like it was almost like the weight
But
just fell off.
your focus was getting off the meds.
Correct.
My focus, which was getting healthy.
Right. Yeah.
Healthy. My
Healthy.
focus was getting healthy. It wasn't on the weight. The weight was an added bonus.
Correct. Correct.
The focus was on getting healthy
Getting healthy.
because
Correct.
babies are born into this world healthy, and then from day one, we're all poisoned to
Right.
not
Like,
be healthy. Exactly. What does that tell you?
correct.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. But we are born in health.
Mm-hmm.
It's about
Yeah.
health.
Yes. Yeah. They say that like health is wealth, you know?
Health is wealth, because without it, you have nothing anyway.
Right.
Without your health, you literally have nothing.
You don't have anything. Yeah.
Nope. Nope. You can have all the money in the world. If you don't have your health, what use is it?
And I think people also think that like if I have billions and billions of dollars, if I am the successful, now listen, I'm not trying to out nobody here, but like the amount of people that have been sent to me like are a lot of really wealthy people,
Mm,
and it's
and they're miserable.
sad,
Yep.
sad, you
Yep.
know, and they're like, I don't understand. Look, man, the way New Earth and everything operates here is off of you. Number one, you have to be able to have access to your heart. Your heart
Exactly.
chakra got to be open. This whole tiptoe around being
Mm-hmm.
vulnerable and feeling ain't gonna fly. So you go
Mm-mm.
immediately. You gonna have to cut this. But I'm successful. I don't understand why I'm not happy because you can't feel your soul. You can't feel your heart.
Precisely.
You
Precisely.
because you're cut
Precisely.
off from source. Number
Yes.
one,
Yes.
you know,
Because
and
all the things aren't even
doesn't
real
matter.
anyway. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Like, yeah, and then that's a rough one. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
rough,
Well,
you know.
yeah, because the blame codes have really been implanted.
But I did everything I was supposed, you know, and then like
Yeah,
now
I
you're like,
was
look, man,
supposed to do. Yeah.
right? Don't
Who said? Who said you were supposed to do?
who said that? Yeah, like just because your mom and dad wanted you to grow up to be some tycoon, you know, just
Mm-hmm.
because you know that's what you thought. Hey, man, I'm trying to tell you, this is what it is. You know, but
Exactly. I
I did
know
all the things like
the things.
but you
Exactly. What do you
but
feel?
you don't. Yeah, you know, but like you feel enough to have been led to me to know that
Yes.
hey, something's off. So
Yeah.
like, there's hope.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah, there's definitely hope. Absolutely.
you know, but
Absolutely.
it is. I think anyways, just saying that for the superficial self-love thing, I think that is something that definitely falls under if I have money, then I love myself.
Then
Like when I
yes.
have money,
No.
when I'm successful, I can love myself. I'll be happy, you know, and
No. 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 And also, I think this is well, no, I think I know this is why most relationships fail as well,
mm,
because because you attract somebody on the same frequency as you,
yeah,
but most people don't love themselves, so you're attracting that mirror that you know you're attract, and it makes you feel good because
right,
that person also needs to feel good,
right.
but you're not projecting. That love is not open. It's conditioned. It's
Yeah. You're not projecting your I say that like if you're not projecting if you're not being your authentic self, then you're not able to project your
project.
authentic signal
Exactly.
to bring in your actual people.
Exactly.
Your,
Exactly.
you
And
know.
it turns out that authenticity is even higher on that frequency scale than love is.
Really?
Mm, mm.
That makes sense.
It does. Absolutely.
It does make
Absolutely.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you find that out?
I can't remember where that was. I can find it for you. I'm pretty sure I saved it on the Black Mirror.
Right.
And all the rest of the memes.
But in general, like, I mean, but it does. It makes
sense.
Again, going back to the you and I example.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Last year was, I would say, is the year that I fully embodied my authentic self. And this year is the year that I've fully put myself out there as my authentic self.
Yeah.
Like social media wise. And again, the moment I put that out there,
all of a sudden.
right.
Yeah. 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 Warts and all, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, but it makes sense.
Exactly.
That's insane.
Especially in a world of fakery, where everything's fake.
Where everything is fake.
Everything is fake.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, fillers, injecting filters, false eyelashes, fake butt, like everything is fake.
The BBLs. Like I'm like, oh, what is happening? And then
even down to clothing, like all the polyester, everything turned into polyester.
What is polyester?
It's derived from petroleum, isn't it? Yeah, it's derived from petroleum. But on a scale of frequency, it's not good to have next to your skin. So you think like all. I really delved into this. I mean, a bit too much information, but I was looking to replace some underwear, and it's really, really difficult finding cotton underwear. Never mind organic cotton underwear.
Nah, it is though. Nah, it is.
So difficult now.
Nah, it is.
Because they're all made of, like, who wants that near their cooch? I'm like,
no, it's bad. Yeah.
Oh, it's really bad.
It's bad. And that's one thing. I know this is like a weird off-topic thing. I mean, but
it's important.
I said we were just gonna flow with it. But this is literally something I had so much like issues cooch wise because of stuff that my like. I told myself, I'm like, God, my cooch is acting like the damn Rolls Royce. You know, like only the finest of things.
The finest of fluff.
You know, like even down to, so I started using the honey pot company. And when I was having frequent regular periods, I had to use, I don't like tampons, like it hurts.
And most tampons are full of plastic, microplastics.
Correct.
Like in the most intimate part of your body, which is a mucous membrane. Like, hello. Yeah.
Right. And I think that's also it. Like I used a tampon once, I think when I was 16 years old, and I felt immediately ill, and I never went back. Plus it hurt, but I think
it hurt.
I think it was just my body being like, get this stuff.
Get it out of you. Yeah.
And I just never went back. But every time I would have to use pads, again at the time when I was 14, 15, 16, putting those pads on, I would immediately like break out. I would be it would just be, I mean, terrible. So recently, whenever the honey pot came out, and before it, there was one company that was just all organic pads, like cotton pads. They were expensive as shit, but like that was the only thing that I could use.
Yes.
And even now, I mean, it's cotton underwear. It's cotton, the honey pot pads. Like it's just
exactly.
It's interesting.
It's a thing. It's a thing. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, as we said, the darkness is everywhere. No stone left unturned.
No stone left unturned.
Which is genius. It's got to be said. It has got to be said. You got to give him the props for that. Yeah.
You thought you was just gonna wear underwear? You thought you was gonna put this pad on?
Oh my God.
Like, bro, we can't have nothing. You wanna wear a shirt?
So funny.
Oh my God. But it is bad. Like it's a real thing though. It's a real thing. And your body does repel it. Like yeah.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Anyways, Teresa, this has been the best episode ever. Ever. Episode ever. It's the projector reflector flow.
That's going on. Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is. We have to do this again sometime, but this has been
Absolutely. Definitely up for that, for
all
sure.
right. Well, being on here, thank you for gracing us with your presence and excellence. And is there anything that you have going on that you want to like talk about, shout out, or put out there? Where can people find your work and all the things?
Yep, you can find me at www.teresafowler.co.uk. That's Teresa with an H. And yeah, I'll be running my next self-trust project coming up in November. It's a 6-week course to a group course to get you just trusting yourself and feeling that self-love in your body.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. I'm with it and I'm excited to see it come out and all the things. And I wish you the best of luck on it. And we'll be in touch because definitely we have to do this again.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Stasia. Thank you so much. It's been brilliant.
Well, take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.